It's Keith Smith from PilotEdge doing a demonstration flight of the PEBLE4 departure out of San Diego with a Santa Catalina transition over to San Francisco using a combination of raw data for the first part of the SID using VORs and radials up until MELDY and then swapping over to the FMS for the rest. And the reason we're doing this is that the stock FMS data doesn't have the magnetic variation corrected properly on some of those crossing radials, and if you attempt to use the FMS to fly right off the runway, you'll get yelled at by ATC because you're not flying the departure properly. So you have two choices. You can either fix the data, which is time consuming, I can tell you that from experience, or you can use raw data for the first part of the departure and swap over to the FMS when it gets basically down to just simple point-to-point navigation. So here we are in the trusty CRJ-200. I am actually already connected to the network, and we shall file CRJ-200, Lindbergh to San Francisco, PEBLE4 departure, Santa Catalina transition, direct Ventura, direct San Marcos, J501, Big Sur to arrival. Flight level 260 with a true airspeed of 470, and file. Let's jump on in and get her going. Okay, just waiting for the APU to come online. There it is, APU generator on, and the IRS line's taking place. Let's go get started on our flight plan. We are in trusty SkyWest 5553 today. Heading to San Francisco. We'll be departing runway 27, PEBLE4 departure, Santa Catalina transition, back to the flight plan page, over to here, and start entering the next portion, which is Ventura, to San Marcos, then via J501 to Big Sur, and the Big Sur to arrival. ILS 28 left from Menlo, or to do it. Execute that, have a look at our legs. We really don't care what the FMS thinks we're going to do until about MELDY. So MELDY, Pebble, Santa Catalina, Ventura, San Marcos, that's all correct. Pega zonal, those are two fixes on J501, Big Sur, and then all the fixes on the Big Sur to arrival to Menlo. After Menlo, the ILS 28 left, and those fixes look correct also. So we're in good shape there. It is 25 degrees outside. That's done. Let's get our radios set. Okie dokie. Clearance delivery 125.9. Goes on COM2. Ground will be 123.9. Goes on the COM2 standby. Towers 18.3. Departure 19.6. Okay, swap to COM2 and pick up a clearance. Lindbergh clearance, SkyWest 5553 with the numbers IFR to San Francisco.
Scout 5553, limited clearance code to San Francisco, PEBLE4 departure, Santa Catalina, that is filed. Maintain 15,000, expect flight level 2605 minutes after. Departure frequency 119.6, squawk 6525.
Scout 5553, cleared San Francisco Airport, PEBLE4 departure, Santa Catalina transition, then is filed. Maintain 15,000, expect 26015, departure 196, squawk 6525.
Scout 5553, read back correct.
Thank you. Okay, get the transponder in right away, 6525. That's done, and let's start working on our radios here. The nav radios, that is. So we're going to do initial heading of 290 out of here. Okay, 290 heading, and the first VOR we're going to need is Oceanside 115.3, because we're going to use radials off of that to call our first turn. 115.3, and we're interested in the 170 radial. Done. After that it's a 315 heading, which we can't dial now. But we want to join the Mission Bay 293 radial. Mission Bay is 117.8. We'll throw that into the nav 2. That was already done apparently, and we're interested in the 293 course. So I'm going to drag my nav source knob until I see nav 2. I went one too far. There we go. Nav 2, and I'm interested in a course of 293. Done. Initial altitude 15,000. Done. All set. So we'll dial heading and speed mode initially. Set a target speed of 163 for the climb. All set there. Okay, so our autopilot set, radios are all set. Let's just make sure our field elevation is correctamundo. Looks like about 16 feet. Yep, that actually wasn't far off. I'd say we're good enough there. Okay, so we shall start up and get going. Let's put hydraulic 3A on, and let's begin engine start. Alright, good start on 2. Okay, 1's looking good. Get the hydraulics on. Should have done that before. Generators on. APU generator off. Kill the pumps. Kill the bleed. Kill the APU. Kill the ignition. Packs on. Probes on. All set. Okay, plane's ready. We're ready. Landing elevation 100 feet. That's close enough for San Francisco. Alright, let's get going. Swap over to ground. Put the transponder to altitude. COM2 ground. Where are we? We're terminal 2 east. Limbo ground Skywest 5553 coming out of Terminal 2 East with the numbers taxi.
Skywest 5553, Limburg ground, runway 27, taxi via Bravo.
Runway 27 via Bravo, Skywest 5553. Okay, we've got our trim set. Okay, let's make sure our nav source is set to nav 1. That's done. Okay, we'll review the departure while we're taxiing here. So it's a 290 heading right off the runway until we cross the Oceanside 170 radial, so we'll be looking for this to center, after which time it'll be a 315 heading. You know, one thing I can do is move this 2 over to the right. There we go. And this will show us the fixes on here once we're pointed the right way. Okay, so 290 heading off the ground, climbing to 15,000, wait for the radial, and then a 315 heading. We've done 2 other videos so far. There's the Port 5 departure out of San Francisco and Channel 1 departure out of John Wayne, demonstrating very similar concepts to this. What I'll do differently in this video is hand fly and maybe just use the flight director. So I'll still set the different autopilot modes, so nav mode and heading and speed, etc. I just won't actually engage the autopilot, we'll just leave the flight director on. Okay, coming up on the end here. Swap to COM 1. We're on 18.3 and then departure 19.6. That's all correct. Okay, I didn't program all the V-speeds. If you do want to see the V-speed programming, you can see the Port 5 departure video. That has all of it. But we're going to rotate around 147 or so if memory serves. And 163 is going to be the climb out. Okay, lights are all set, plane's ready, thrust limiter set, the autopilot modes are set. Limbo tower, Skywest 5553, holding short of 27, ready to go.
Skywest 5553, Limbo tower, runway 27, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 27, Skywest 5553. Alright then. So, 290 heading when we can. The other thing I'd like to do is be prepared to contact departure. That's going to be a little bit tricky to have the view I want, so we shan't. We'll just look down and hit the button to flick it over when we need to and make sure the plane's trimmed before we do it. Okie dokie, off we go. There's 80. Okay, rotate here. Pitch for 163 or so. Pause rate, gear up. Get to 400 feet. I can pitch a little bit more than that. 400 feet, 290 heading now. And I'll keep trimming. Okay, there's the heading. Flaps. Okay, I can start accelerating, so let the nose come down a bit. Departure, Skies 5553. Okay, I'm releasing the stick completely. Speed trend is increasing, which is good. Swap over to departure. SoCal departure, Skies 5553, 2,800, climbing 15,000.
Skies 5553, SoCal departure, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level, correction, climb and maintain 15,000.
15,000, Skies 5553. Okay, so I'm dialing in a speed of 250. Nothing's actually happening because again we haven't engaged the autopilot, just the flight director. It's telling me to pitch down to get myself to the speed that we're looking for. So I'm just gonna trim more and more nose down, let the speed start coming up here. We can set climb power now. Okay, so let's look at the difference with where we actually need to turn, which will be this 293. Let me make sure that heading bug is actually set to 293. There we go. Here's where the FMS wants us to turn. So we'll just keep flying the heading. We're not going to turn until this needle here centers, at which time we'll turn to a 315 heading. You know what, let me get that nose further down. We're climbing real slow here. So the FMS thinks that oceanside radial is coming up in a couple of miles, and we'll see if it's actually accurate or not. I may have actually updated this departure in the database, so it may end up being accurate, but I don't think so.
Skies 5553, contact LA Center 119.95.
1995, Skies 5553. Radial's coming in. Los Angeles Center, SkyWest 5553, 9,100, climbing 15,000.
Skies 5553, Los Angeles Center, climb and maintain flight level 260.
Flight level 260, Skies 5553. Okay, the altitude can wait. Let's do the turn here. And we can increase to 280 knots or so, 290. Okay, there's the radial. Now, actually wasn't too far off, so I think I have updated this nav database after all. But we're shooting for a 315 heading now. 315. And we are in fact done with the nav 1. We want that. Okay, 315 heading, still hand flying. And in the climb, I'm going to get the nose down a bit because the speed trend is decreasing. We're waiting for the 293 off of Mission Bay. These courses are all preset on the ground, thank goodness. And we want to engage or arm the nav mode. It was close enough so it actually took us out of heading mode into nav mode. And we'll just wait for the flight director to command the turn, and we'll do what it says. There it is. Okay, once we're on that 293 course, it's a little bit too small to be able to see. Bring it back up. Once we're on the course, we'll then... It looks like the FMS has got a clue. It knows roughly where we are. It's actually doing a really good job. So I think I did update this database after all. So now there's really not much to do except if the FMS was way off, I would engage direct MELDY, as we did in the Channel 1 departure video. But since the FMS is clued in and it's sequencing us to MELDY along the right course, then there is no need to do that. And instead we'll just transition over to FMS mode. That's there. And we could either keep hand flying or
2073
engage
ground
autopilot.
correction, Lindbergh clearance cleared to Phoenix Airport, Hoagie 2 departure, Trio transition, then as filed. Maintain 8,000. Expect flight level 290, 5 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 119.6, squawk 7160.
The only thing that was wrong is the speed. It was in speed mode and it was set for a speed of 250, so it tried to do a really steep climb and I really didn't want to come down to 250 knots, so I hurriedly changed the speed to 280 and
Southwest
we'll now change it to 290.
Correct.
There we go. And now we have time to set our altitude. It just disengaged. Our altitude to 260. Let's get our climb going here. Why did it disengage? Okay, 260 on the altitude. Flight director, okay, nav. There we go. Pitch, and actually we want speed mode. Not entirely sure why we got an AP disconnect there, but we caught it and re-engaged it. So there it is. We passed MELDY, now we're heading to PEBLE. It is in FMS mode, and we're in a speed climb up to 260. Check our pressurization. Cabin altitude's coming up slowly, life is good. That's it. Guess we'll take that landing light off. Forgot to do that passing through 10. Otherwise everything looks good on the panel. Once again out in the middle of nowhere in the ocean, not much to see. That happened on the last flight too. Alright, hope you enjoyed it, hope it helped, and as you can see you can hand fly these little buggers if you want to.